Do I even need to review this book? I mean, you're all familiar with this story. You've seen it a million times. It's one of the most adapted, parodied, and cited works in history. You can't go through the holiday season without coming across the story in some shape or form. Movies, television, that one school play you're forced to see every freaking year, it's permanently imprinted to our cultural DNA. So does it even matter whether or not I say I like the book? Honestly, no. But let me ask you something. How many of you ever took the time to read the original source material? Sure, you've seen its adaptations, but have you gone straight to the source to see what it is that makes this Christmas story the alpha and omega that all other Christmas stories must be judged by? That's what made me want to review this book and share my thoughts with you this holiday season. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into the Christmas classic, A Christmas Carol, by the one and only Charles Dickens. 面白くない世の中面白くすればいいさ I almost feel like a hack telling you the premise of this story. But for the -3 of you who haven't heard of it, it's Christmas time in 19th century England, and everyone is getting ready for the holiday. All but one, Ebenezer Scrooge, who's... well, this. He was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. A squeezing, retching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. And his views on Christmas? A Merry Christmas, Uncle! God save you! Bah! Said Scrooge. Humbug!
He said it! He said it!
He hates Christmas! And he doesn't just hate Christmas. He loathes it, despises it. He would commit mass genocide at the mere mention of Merry Christmas. If I could work my will, said Scrooge indignantly, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
What an asshole!
For Scrooge, there is only one thing worth pursuing in life: money. Nothing else matters but the pursuit of the almighty shilling. But on the night of Christmas Eve, he is visited by an old friend he hasn't seen for a long time. 'Cause he is dead. It came on through the heavy door and passed into the room before his eyes. I know him! Marley's ghost! Scrooge's old business partner has risen from the grave to warn Scrooge of a terrible fate if he doesn't change his ways. It is required of every man, the ghost returned, that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world, oh woe is me, and witness that it cannot share, but might have shared on earth, and turn to happiness. And how is he to do that? You will be haunted, resumed the ghost, by 3 spirits. And you all know where this goes from there. Scrooge is visited by the ghost of Christmas past to see his innocent youth and regrettable life choices, then the ghost of Christmas present to see the joys of Christmas today from all walks of life. Also, food is amazing. Then the ghost of Christmas yet to come, followed by years of childhood therapy. It was shrouded in a deep black garment, which concealed its head, its face, its form, and left nothing of it visible save one outstretched hand. I dare you to tell me you weren't scared when the freaking Grim Reaper appeared for the first time! I dare you! Then Scrooge learns to change his ways, gives his assistant Bob Cratchit a much-deserved raise, who we actually never hear his name till the Ghost of Christmas Present dinner. Strange. And everyone gets their happy endings. God bless us, everyone!
He said it! He said it!
Like I said, we know this story inside and out, pretty much to the point that it's white noise. And yet, we still come back to it. Why? Why do we continue to bring up this story to have it retold again and again and again? Is that even a question? A Christmas Carol is one of the ultimate examples of redemption, a testament of the human spirit. There's a reason we call Grumpy Grouch's Scrooge. The phrase Merry Christmas got popular because of this book, and when it was published, there was a burst of people giving more generously. Cause back then, and now, after almost 200 years, yeah, it is that old. The stories, themes, and characters continue to stick with us. Sure, when you're first reading the book, it starts off exactly as you know it. If you've seen just one adaptation, you will quickly find the core and basic beats they always take from the story. But then you also notice several little scenes that have been either cut or completely changed. Like the ghosts. As we know, the three ghosts visit Scrooge on Christmas Eve following the hours of 1, 2, and 3. But in the book, they actually come to him over 3 days, with the first and second coming at 1 and the third after 12.
What?
I know, it's so weird! I get them coming across 3 days. They're to represent the days of past, present, and future. And when the first ghost comes, Scrooge wakes up to find he slept throughout the entire day. A Christmas Carol. Days of Christmas Future Past. But the hours make no sense. Why 1, 1, 12? I don't know. If anyone has an idea about that, please let me know. Then there are some tiny scenes that just add to the atmosphere that I think most adaptations leave out. For one, when Marley leaves, Scrooge actually sees a league of other ghosts that suffer the same fate of walking the earth knowing they can't do a thing to make anyone happy. It's a surprisingly haunting scene, but my favorite has to be at the end of The Ghost of Christmas Past. After the big breakup with Scrooge's fiancée Belle, we are shown a scene of what happened to her. She got married, had a family, and it's one of the most heartbreaking scenes to see, cause that could have been Scrooge, but because of his actions, as Belle puts it, I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion, gain, engrosses you. Have I not? He'll never get to enjoy it. Almighty shilling indeed. But those are just the tiny details. Emotionally tiny details. But here's the most interesting thing. If it wasn't for A Christmas Carol, we might not have Christmas as we know it now. Believe it or not, Christmas came under fire from Puritans because it was a Catholic holiday and to them, Catholics are the devil. There were actual riots just to defend the right to celebrate Christmas. They decorated their doorways with holly as a form of protest. I can't make this stuff up. Why wasn't Kirk Cameron making this movie? While A Christmas Carol wasn't the first, it's the one that had the biggest impact. It's where the idea of helping out your fellow man comes from, as said by Jacob Marley to Scrooge what should have been his business. Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. The idea of being with your family, no matter their status, like the Cratchits. They were not a handsome family. They were not well dressed. The shoes were far from being waterproof. Their clothes were scanty. But they were happy, grateful, pleased with one another, and contented with the time. And of course the big one. After seeing how unloved he is in the world due to his greedy ways, Scrooge's declaration to accept the joys of Christmas, not just for Christmas, but for all time. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons they teach. These are all the things we commonly associate most with the holidays. This is what I felt the Christmas sweater wanted to be, but it just doesn't hit the mark. And Dickens' writing is superb. It's Dickens.
Oh, Marge, go on.
Of course it would be. It does take a bit to adjust since this was written in a different time, but once you get used to it, all the feels, man. As he puts it himself, I have endeavored in this ghostly little book to raise the ghost of an idea. May it haunt their houses pleasantly. It may be a tale we've seen and heard time and time again, but the reasons for that is it's a message that speaks to all of us on an emotional and spiritual level, showing what happens when we don't give that helping hand when we can, when we leave others behind for selfish gain, to show that no matter how heartless or cruel, all people have the chance to redeem themselves. As Tiny Tim says, God bless us, everyone. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion about A Christmas Carol? And now, it's time to wrap things up for 2014. I'm off to celebrate with my family and... When is Christmas? Come back Christmas Day. I might just have a little present waiting for you guys. Till next time, have a happy holidays and a nice day.